Greetings, YouTube. Danny Staten here on the Daddy Dan blog. I want to start the day by wishing all you gals a happy Valentine's Day. And for Valentine's Day today, I got a real treat for you. I'm going to be checking out Walt Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, a classic animated tale from Walt Disney. It's a gold key comic book. Got the big 12-cent price tag on it. You know I love that. And it's a classic, so you can't go wrong with a Walt Disney comic. I can't wait to jump into this one and relive the tale of Walt Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And a big happy Valentine's Day to all the ladies out there. So inside the cover of this really cool comic book from 1944, we get Snow White cleaning the floors, scrubbing the castle. She works for the evil queen. She's a handmaiden. The evil queen likes to look in her little mirror, you know, magic mirror on the wall, mirror on the wall, I don't know, Mandela mirror on the wall. Evil queen's all happy. She thinks she's the fairest lady, I use that loosely, in the land. Snow White's talking to the birds. Snow White's throwing faces on buckets. Snow White's singing merry melodies, hoping a prince like Buckethead, Prince Buckethead here, come and rescue her. So, and for wonderful drawn panels brought to you by the Daily Dan Vlog, I give you Prince Charming. As Prince Charming rolls up on the merry maid in her raggedy clothes dancing around and singing, he spies her, he admires her. He does a little sneaking while she's looking at her reflection in the mirror, realizing she's pretty fair herself. Old Prince done snuck up and dressed up like Buckethead. She comes up and says, "I'm sorry. Poor old Buckethead. I hope you're not disappointed." And disappointed? "Well, no, I'm enchanted," says old Buckethead. "Oh," she's in fear. "Mercy, what? I must be dreaming," she says, as Buckethead pulls off the bucket to reveal a true prince. Wow. So in real quick fashion, Buckethead takes off the thing. He flirts, he talks, he hangs. But she's shy and she runs away. But from the window, she says, "I will see you again. And I want you to be my queen," he says. And she thinks he's talking to her. As she listens at the window, she's in awe. But then she hears Snow White, "What?" And she turns around in anger. She's mad now because Snow White is the fairest one and not her. What? She creaks, she freaks. She runs to the mirror to find out what happens. And she says, "Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest one of them all?" And you know, now, let me bring this up real quick while we're talking about comic books. There's a Mandela effect about magic mirror on the wall. A lot of people remember mirror, mirror on the wall, and I'm one of them people. I definitely remember this being mirror, mirror on the wall. But in this comic book, it's magic mirror on the wall. So we call that one a Mandela effect in the Mandela effect world. And you can check out videos on that on my friend Eric's channel over at Paranormal Highway. Wow, a Paranormal Highway shout out in our Snow White comic book. That's cool. Anyway, Snow White is apparently all happy. Yeah. But the prince is being run off because the queen all evil. She's all upset that she ain't the fairest in the land no more, as we find out up here. And she says Goofus to run off the prince guy. But Goofus imprisons the prince guy, throws him in a jail cell. Snow White's all upset about it. Now the evil queen is planning her vengeance. She says, "Why don't you take Snow White out in the woods and stab that chick to death?" What? Yep, I got it right. She orders him to, take Snow White out in the woods and stick her to death. Oh, my God. Oh, we get such drama in this Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs comic book as the huntsman takes Snow White on a beautiful walk in the woods. The little queen sent me to take you for a walk and show you the beauty of the forest. Snow White enjoys the beauty of the forest. Snow White talks to the birds. Snow White feels a little stress. She says, "Goodbye, little bird, goodbye." And she turns to see a knife pointed at her throat. She begs for her life. And the huntsman says, "I can't do it, Snow White. I can't stab you up." So in full wonderful panels, brought to you by the Daily Damn Blog, you see the husband be the good guy. You see him tell Snow White to get out of Dodge, because the queen wants you gone. And Snow White runs, and she runs, and the trees seem to scream and holler and terrify her. And she runs and runs and runs and falls on the ground. But all the little forest animals come to her, because they are her friends. She stops crying and she looks up at all the little friends who gather around her in the woods. And they say they will find her a place to stay. So all the little forest animals drag Snow White along through the woods, over the hills, and through till she finds this place. This wreck, this shack, this nasty pigsty. So her and all her little friends clean up the shack she has found. And by the way, up here in the top you get, hi-ho, 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 it's off to home we go. Ee. That's right. As Snow White cleans the shack, hi-ho, 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 home from work we go. The 7 dwarfs are heading in. Snow White, all tired from all her work, drapes herself over the bed and passes out to sleep. To sleep. Yeah, as the dwarves arrive at the house, they see the lights on. They think there's a burglar about. They go creeping. They go thinking, maybe it's a demon. Maybe it's a goblin. Let's have a look. Goblin. They've been reading D&D. Oh, it's 7 dwarfs. Get it? D&D. And as the 7 dwarfs look on in amazement at all their dirty dirt gone in their house, nice and clean, they're in shock. They say, "What must be going on here? Somebody's in the bedroom upstairs. We should creep up the stairs and find out who's in our bedrooms." First few beds they come to. They find something under the sheet. But the sheet raises up, blah, and scares the dwarves. It must be a ghost. Oh, the 7 dwarves are tripping as they find Snow White up in their bed. Yep, 7 little horny old men found a young girl up in their bed. Well, what happens next? No, I'm just kidding you two. I'm just kidding. It was a joke. The dwarves are nice, but they are like, "It's a female. Oh, no sense." And they argue and they fuss and they disagree and they have a big meeting over what are they going to do with this female that they found in their house. Should they throw her out? "I don't know what to do," says Grumpy. You give credit where credit's due. These Disney comic books do not have no commercials. So in full panels, brought to you by the Daily Damn Blog, the story rolls on. The story rolls on with no breaks. And you don't even get a commercial. As she pleads her case and begs for a place to stay, as explains that an evil queen is going to kill her, and they want no part of the evil queen. But the evil queen is unhappy. She knows Snow White lives, and she's very upset about it. She will have her vengeance that Snow White has escaped death. The 7 dwarfs all agree that Snow White can stay a while, so they're all happy. And all of a sudden, Snow White says, "Hey, I can cook." And cook, and it starts a big round of hoorays as they all talk about how happy they are that she can cook. And finally, they'll get home-cooked meals for the first time in a long time. In the dark, deep depths of the cave under the castle, the queen consults the evil skull. She consults an evil skull to find out the location of Snow White. Meanwhile, the dwarves get their big eat on as they have an incredible meal home cooked by a wonderful little Snow White. They are so happy, they decide to have a singing festival and some wrestling. Oh boy. They wrestle, they have a food fight, such shenanigans as the evil witch turns herself into an old hag and explains to the young prince that he's going to give her the poison apple and send Snow White to the other side. Oh, to the other side. Oh, my God. Meanwhile, Snow White's all dancing and having fun and partying around with the 7 dwarfs. Isn't that exciting? I love a good dance scene. Yes, I do. Cuckoo goes the clock. And the dwarves are upset because they know it's time to go to work. Get out, get out, get out. So as all the dwarves enjoy a good night's sleep, scattered about, even Snow White says her prayers and goes to bed. In the dark night, the witch is creeping ever closer to the house of the dwarves. as the dwarves say goodbye. Happy trails, ho, 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 it's off to work we go. That's right, they included that in the comic book. Ho, ho, ho. Anyway, they're off to work. The huntsman goes down to visit the prince in the cell, and the prince is like, you know what's up, right? And the witch finally finds Snow White's hideout. Uh-oh, it's getting exciting now. And it'd be a good time to tell you to be sure to check out my friend Dave Sunstorm. You know, Dave, the good stuff guy, our good stuff community leader, Dave Sunstorm, the good stuff guy here on YouTube. Be sure to check out his brother Steven Sunstorm here on YouTube, the other good stuff guy. And while I'm at it, be sure to check out my good friend Thrash Pondo Ponds here on YouTube. Another good stuff guy. And you can check out my friend Ian over at Retro Serial, and be sure to check out my other channel, Daily Dan's The Good Stuff, because that's where the good stuff dwells. Now in full panels. Back to the comic book. Brought to you by the Daily Dan blog. That's right. The huntsman filled in by the prince, decides to release the prince, yes. He sets the prince free, who makes a break for it, jumps the castle wall, grabs his horse, and rides off to try to get there in time to save Snow White from the evil queen's plan. But the evil hag has showed up. She's doffing off apples. She's giving away fruit. She's saying it's going to make everything all right if you eat this apple. It's a magic apple. It'll make you feel good. But the birds fly away and animals run in fear. Snow White wants the apple. It'll be all right. Yeah, you want to eat the apple. There's more animals run in fear. The prince races to save Snow White, knowing the queen's evil plan. The animals rush to the mine and tell the dwarfs what's going on with the evil witch. Oh, they can see right through her. And they all jump on deers and ride that way. But unfortunately, as tears fill my eyes, they are too late. They are too late. As Snow White takes the apple from the witch. She takes a bite of the apple, and Snow White goes down like a ton of bricks. She hits the ground, and the evil witch runs away. Evil witch, as the dwarf and deer see the evil witch running away, she flees the mountain. A storm comes up. What? She flees up the mountain, being chased by the dwarf. She prepares to roll a big boulder down on them little dwarf fellers, and she's going to kill them. And as she's trying to lever over the rock, you know what happens? Lightning strikes, and on that you can depend. And the witch's staff is blown into little pieces, and the witch tumbles backwards over the cliff. Oh, to her death at the bottom of the chasm. Oh, I put that in black and white, didn't they? Ah, the witch is dead, but Snow White lay on the ground in a coma. They prepare a memorial for her in the middle of the forest, and all the little animals and all the little things gather around the memorial for Snow White as she lies sleeping. The prince rides in search of Snow White. Suddenly, he stopped. His heart is chilled as he sees this scene. See, that's right there. He sees this scene as Snow White lay in the middle of the forest, surrounded by dwarves and animals, and looking all dead, but she's like in a coma. And that's the end of the book. Oh, well, thanks for joining me. I'm just kidding, you two. They finish it up on the back because not one commercial in the whole book, even the back covers the continuous end of the story. He goes to Snow White, who is apparently in a coma. He bows before her and kisses her on the lips, but he finds out she's not dead, and it was just a coma, as we all knew. And the spell is lifted, and she wakes. And everybody sings, hooray, 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 as Snow White and her prince ride off to the castle, which is now vacant because the evil witch fell down a chasm. The end. Happy, joy. And that's my look at Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, a Gold Key comic book from 1944. Happy Valentine's Day to all the ladies out there, and thanks for joining me, dudes. I hope everybody enjoyed Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, this Walt Disney classic. And for all 4 or 5 of you people that watched it, I really appreciate it. Be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. And I'll catch you next time with a more, something different anyway. Blog over, dudes.